but she comes home next weekend.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, she went
She came
and
for Thanksgiving, and then now she's back. And then she went back to school. Then she'll be here for 1 month.
okay. It's on live.
Yeah.
So
You were just saying that being in a state of doing nothing is actually a very positive,
yeah,
highest
yeah,
way of being.
yeah, doing nothing foundation is the real foundation we want to start, but that's for advanced people. Like naturally people are doing in their daily life, waking, dreaming, and sleeping. Now, sleep is another three state. One is worries, thinking, tossing, turning, and then dreaming, and then enter in the state of half an hour, 20 minutes, doing nothing. Doing nothing is also state of being when we go in the meditation state. That's where the mind get recharged, a battery, like battery charge and recharge. So when you doing nothing, the energy gathered like in the battery for the next day. Suppose if you are still dreaming or worrying, then you wake up next day tired and
So,
anxiety. So this doing nothing is not a negative word. The most positive state of uh, being aware without the worries, without the thinking, overthinking. Now, if you want to observe the life, let's say four stages, the childhood, teenager, and then young and old. Now, what happened is that the teenager or young, they are playful. The thinking is still there, but not over worries, not anxiety full. So the mind can be a best friend when it is useful, but when worry become over worry, thinking become overthinking, then what happen is the killer, stressful state of the mind. And most of the people invite that biggest killer, like cancer is a killer, big state and cardiovascular state, and also mentally over worrying. They have everything. They have money, houses, but worry and over worry. And this beautiful mood turn into anxiety, whether they're big leaders, big politician, billionaire, and you watch and observe face, their face is wrinkled with the anxiety and worries. So, do they have a pill or a button to put it off and invite the thinking when they allow? Yes, they try with the drink and shot 5-10 minutes and then it comes back again. So that's not the that's a like a window but not the real solution. Real solution they want to return to their 15-year-old
Yeah.
that aliveness and thinking is there but thinking as a servant but not as a master. So how to remain in that balance when mind is overgrown, brain cells are occupied by the worries, then what happens? Many richest people were advised by their doctors, psychologists that look, you slow down, slow down, slow down. Oh, they said we understand, but only death will enter in slow down. So there are people who take drugs or other entertainment, sex, rock and roll, but that's not the natural solution. Then there are people doing yoga, meditation, this and that. But if they learn their original state of being, human being, then they don't need to do anything because the soul, the spirit which they talk about, don't live that state. That is just only 2 times they watch it when they are being born and childhood or in the death because the being return back as far as the body mind always duality. Why? What is duality? Duality body means it's a growing from childhood to oldhood. And mind the same way, worry, and more worry. So that is the nature of body mind, always good into bad, bad into good. You can put the golden words that gold age is gold, old age is gold age. Yes, that is okay. But then there is a state which they call eternal spirit, eternity, is always waiting for you. So that is another word. Doing nothing is the state of being, also called Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Nirvikalpa Samadhi means because in English there is not enough words, they get afraid of death. Death of the me means death of the ego. There is nothing which dies, only worries dies. So mind gets set up, but body came from five elements, returned to the five elements. So it continues. It always continues because the beingness, the spirit, eternal spirit, is bigger and vaster than these five elements. They cannot capture. They only have the reflection. Oh, this is me, body, mind. That is just the reflection of what? Infinite eternity, which cannot be captured, which is beyond the time, beyond the space, timelessness, space, beyond the space. Then they put the word consciousness. But consciousness is a word unless you taste it and live it. 90 to 99% people don't have any taste of consciousness. Only once in say 90 years life, they have 9 hours of the taste of consciousness beyond the body mind. But the yogis, they have that state, nirvikalpa samadhi, and that beyond that is called sahaj samadhi. Sahaj samadhi means that use the mind as a servant but not as a master. So the mind is still there, but they live from the heart space. Heart space means the soulful living. The computer science or big scientists may be worried and write books, but the poetical yogi, he will say one word, the beauty is forever. Beauty is in the eyes of beholder. So they transcend from the ordinary level. A different kind of living. Normal people don't have eyes and time to observe that even the plants, animals don't have blood pressure, don't have worries, cardiovascular problems, cancer, and now is coming in infections, which is environmental diseases, many kind of COVID. Now you can see that with the eyes? No. So they are everywhere. So two kind of infections. One is the germs, another is the egoistic thinking because people start thinking like others because they compare the cars, houses, and they miss the real life. Real life is 100 times bigger than what you see with the eyes and the brain. So they miss that advanced state. Doing nothingness is where Mother Nature is sovereign and doing everything. Imagine today what is the day?
The date?
Saturday. But like your cat knows it is Saturday.
No.
So that's why I'm trying to reflect that man's life is a reflective life, mental life is a 5% because it's only always in duality good, bad, right, wrong, good, bad. That's the nature of the mind. They manage it, they arrange it, but always observe your life. Those people who are called poor, rich, poor, worried because they don't have enough. The rich people more worried they have too much. So it's like constant continuity of the struggle. Struggle outside, struggle inside, and life becomes a battle. Only few people have time, energy to observe, to look what is life. Do they really live the life or life is running them and dragging on, drag on, drag on? So life can be so precious beyond the money and diamonds when it is filled up. Love is filled up, the heart is filled up with love, and love is reduced to the objects, to the things, but is way beyond means that when you really feel the feeling of fulfillment. Fulfillment is the limitless timelessness, and that is the state of the consciousness, pure consciousness, which is not contaminated by the brain and mind, transcendental state. And that's divine nature, which is always free and simple and available and verified, certified, verified here and now, all the time. But people get so much uh, busy, and they waste their precious life. When you identify the wrong way, with the visual life for the bodybuilder, yes, that is good, looks good, but they realize after 5, 10, 15 years that it is a time bound upliftment and older age, they suffer a lot. The same way bodybuilder and mind builder, ego builder. Ego builders are the suffer more than the bodybuilder because ego is fake, whether rich and famous, but inside miserable, more miserable than bodybuilder. Why? Because it is fake shadow. Yeah, fake shadow means you are very popular. You see ha in the newspaper, movies. How long? Because one goes up, goes down right away.
Mhm. It's fleeting.
Fear. They live in the boat of fear. So that's how he, who, for a while, but like a bubble burst. So that's why real science is the science of, that's why people are looking for immortality which does not decay.
Mm.
And that immortality already is. If you dip and dive in it, enjoy, and you understand that this body mind is given to you to acknowledge, recognize your birthright and death right. What is that? That was does not decay, and that is the pure consciousness. Pure consciousness without the recording of the tape of memory. Living like a child and childish is different. Childlike, whether you are 10 or whether you are 100-year old, you still like a child. That's what the scripture indicate, that you can enter the kingdom of Father or kingdom of paradise when you are like a child, not childish, childlike. Childlike means pure innocence, not covered up by the fake images. That's what the scientists even found out, that the maximum activity, maximum dynamics happen when there is no friction, when there is no duality. There is already happening. Otherwise, even the planets get tired.
Mhm.
Effortless effort is the natural nature. That's how the Tao cannot be spoken, the truth cannot be spoken because it is beyond the words. Truth cannot be spoken. The what can be spoken is not the truth. That is indicating the infinite, absolute, pure innocence, pure awareness. Why people don't get it? They, because it's too simple.
Mm.
They want complex things. The ego mind want complex thing which is not too simple because the mind and ego survives when it is busy, busy, busy. That's how lot of stupid people have 1 year plan, 1 week plan, and one next day plan. Otherwise, they don't sleep well. They have planning. Of course, plan is all that is good, but are you missing something?
Yeah, you're missing the now.
Yeah, yeah. So that's how many people sit that nowness, the sunlight. Nowness is too simple and it cannot be spoken about. Either you live it or you miss it. What kind of God is that God which will meet you next week or tomorrow? No, that's just only idea and reflection. And that's what organized religions give you the hope of tomorrow. But the pure heart can see it here and now. So, what you have to say?
That it would be nice to be in that state of childlike awe more often.
Hmm.
Because it would be worry free and more fun. And then you wouldn't care how long is my life going to last? Am I going to live to 100? Will this happen to me? Will that? You'll just be in the now.
Yeah, the real nowness, the thinking slowed down and slowed down. Like when you are in the sound sleep, you're not worried about 100 year or not.
Yeah.
The mind is gone, is gone. Like the ocean and the bubble. The bubble, when absorbed in the ocean, it becomes the ocean. So Mentally, you cannot understand or not misunderstand because it's not in the level of that level. That's how the beauty of life, living. Living is different than thinking, doing. The mind likes manage the mind, management. So, but it is born of mismanagement. So, like what happened is the mind and ego they survive. They survive when it is restless. Restless is is okay if it's harmonical, but when it goes out of balance, then it becomes a sickness and disease. Like the cells, cancer cells, white cells, when get exceed and over exceed, then it become a disease. So that's what the master indicate, living in the world but not of it. What they are saying is, world means the objects. They take they take it in too much. So there is no bad, good, right, wrong. It's you enjoy when it is in proper place. That's all. And proper balance automatically happen, not by doing with the mind. Automatically. It's happening in the life because when you eat the enjoy the food, you overeat, you feel bad.
Yeah.
And so,
Then it
uh,
eats you.
yeah, when it properly and also you remember what goes inside, that also is automatic, effortless. So align with the mother nature and then everything flows, become musical. That's how one has to, this question is not philosophical, who am I? No, who am I means that you are body mind, but something beyond which cannot be seen with the eyes. the heart consciousness, another dimension. That's how called being. Don't need to believe in God or devil or believe in nothing. You just observe your own self. The four states, when you call it waking up, that is egoistic waking. That is also a dreamlike, and dream and awake and sound sleep. Sound sleep is a real luxury because that is so big luxury that you don't want to become billionaire. That is in the dream state. But sound sleep, nothingness, doing nothingness, nothingness is the ultimate. A mini death, not of you, but the only egoistic thinking. Because the real you is never born, never die. That is beyond the all. Eternal eternity. Even you know it or you don't know it does not matter because the real you is the eternal light. The real eternal light means timelessness, beyond time and space, yet in the time and space, but beyond it too. Is bigger and vaster. That's how the mind always wants the biggest, ever expanding. When you provoke or awake or awoke to the aligned to the infinite blesses you. Knowing or unknowing, it is blessing all the time. So man is the one who invite the limited restrictions of the mind and ego, but by questioning and recognizing it wake up to the unlimited, which is always available and free and simpler than the simplest because just imagine the sunlight, you go just step out and you are in the bliss. The same way, the beingness never leaves you. Even the body mind, born and die, but the eternal perfume of God's grace always there, without the stamp of the name and form, is beyond all. Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om.